After the Browns on Sunday, they have the Week 14 bye, and then it finishes with the Titans at the Colts on a Monday night. That should be an interesting game. The Bears on Sunday Night Football, December 28, and then final week of the season, they take on the Seahawks. So they've got 3 tough games to wrap it all up. They may not have one of their players on Sunday against the Browns. I don't know what the league's going to do. This one seems a little more complicated and nuanced than Brian Branch smacking Juju Smith-Schuster in the helmet when Smith-Schuster was extending a hand after the Week 5 Sunday night game on NBC. And usually what happens, and I give credit to ESPN for being able to find what precipitated Jauan Jennings going after Tre'von Moehrig immediately after last night's game. And this is one of the reasons why I hang in there to the end of the game. You know, my wife and I have had that conversation. Like, I'll stay down in the barn all the way to the end of the game. It's like, even when it's a bad game, and it's like, hey, I could go up and get ready for bed. And it's like, this game stinks. You you never know what's going to happen. You never know when that crazy thing is going to occur. And it happened right after the game. They cut to Jennings going after Moehrig there, the right to the face, and then the shove, and they broke him up. And okay, hey. We all remember what happened with Brian Branch. So when you see that, you're thinking this guy could get suspended for a week. I mean, if that's the precedent they set, if they follow their precedent at all, Devin, the concern is at some point today there's going to be an announcement that Jauan Jennings is suspended for Sunday's game against the Browns. Now, the NFL tends to prefer to do whatever it wants to do in any situation and make up the rules as they go and make up the precedents as they go. But that's not all that different than what we saw with Brian Branch and Juju Smith-Schuster. However, we saw what caused it. And as Cheeseburger Eddie says, you got to protect the McNuggets. Jauan Jennings was caught napping after a play late in the game. Tre'von Moehrig with a punch directly to a very sensitive area on which professional athletes at the NFL level do not wear cups. That is something that amazes many. A very sensitive area, completely unprotected by any type of device. And Moehrig clearly, you can't see it, but you can tell from the context. You see the elbow move. You see the universal sign for, I just got hit in the nuts. Sorry, London. So that's what caused it. And I just wonder how all of that, it's kind of the middle ground between Jamar Chase spitting on Jalen Ramsey and Brian Branch walking up to Juju Smith-Schuster and hitting him in the head. Where does this land and what are they going to do? Because Ramsey, I don't even think Ramsey got fined for his reaction to being spit on. So are they going to give Jauan Jennings a pass, just fine him and not suspend him? Because under the Branch precedent, my first thought is he's getting suspended. If that means anything, if that's the rule, just like if you spit on a guy, you're getting suspended. You walk up to a guy after the game and hit him in the face, they're going to suspend you because they're very serious about this now. So that's going to be the story of the day, or at least one of the stories to monitor. What are they going to do about this? I think that there are extenuating circumstances given the fact that he got punched in the crotch.
Yeah, to me, it's all about how do they value the punch to the crotch. Like, you're allowed to react a certain way if someone spits in your face. They said, hey, you're allowed to do what Jalen Ramsey did. Jauan Jennings, to me, did a very similar thing to Moehrig. It just so happened it happened after the game. He didn't do it right away. So, like, is that different? But, like, you could see he has a second, and right there, and watching the game, you could see even that next play after this, Jennings is in the huddle to his 49er teammates, grabbing his private area, and you could see he's saying something. But I thought maybe at the end of the play, he got hit, and then they show this. Like, if I'm Jennings, there's no way I should get fined or suspended just for reacting because you let Ramsey react. Mine just happened to be, this was only like 2 or 3 plays later. So it'll be interesting how they figure that out. But that's the first thing my wife said to me. She's like, why is he reacting like that? Don't you guys all wear cups? I was like, no, we gave up cups in like fourth or fifth grade. Like that's been out of the window for a while.
I'm not going to ask how your wife doesn't know that already, but you would think it would come up at some point in all the years that you were playing professional football that a certain area of the body is not protected. And it reminds me of the old Eddie Murphy bit. You don't have to hit nuts. You only have to graze them. And it's the delayed reaction that gets you. Anyone that's ever had it happen, and if you haven't had it happen, you truly haven't lived. The initial contact often is okay, and then like 3 seconds later, it's like someone put a knife in your bowels. That's the level of pain. So that wasn't a graze by Tre'von Moehrig. And yeah, how much of a grace period do you have to retaliate when you've been hit in the crotch? This is how law is determined, one case at a time. The NFL is going to have to decide what kind of an exemption is given to Jauan Jennings for going after Tre'von Moehrig at some period of time after the heat of the moment for getting punched in the crotch. John Runyon never expected to have this one land on his desk today.
And that's what you love about these situations of like, how does one go about even figuring this out? Like to me, this is clean cut. Moehrig should be suspended and Jennings should be fined. Like to me, spitting in the face is the highest level. Punching somebody in the crotch is a step right below. When we're on the field, it's all men out there playing. That to me is a no. Like we can't have people walking around doing that way. Like to me, you set a precedent. Like, hey, whatever trash talking has happened between you guys in the game, we can't then do this. Like that's unacceptable.
I remember all the stories from the 70s and the 80s of all the crazy stuff that would happen at the bottom of a pile. Like in your time in the NFL, was it, like twisted fingers, squeezed, berries? I mean, did that stuff still happen then?
Here's the protocol. All right, ball's on the ground. You're jumping and you're diving on the ball. Once you get on the ball, you want to get on the ball. If there's a fumble, loose ball, any loose ball on the ground. Yes, I see what you did there. I see what you did there.
Yeah.
It's all about you're going to protect every ball. Listen to this. You're going to jump on the ball, get on the football, get in the fetal. But once you get in the fetal, close your mouth, close your eyes, squeeze your butt cheeks. You want to close everything up. The fetal protects. The fetal protects two balls. Your arms protect another one, and close the butt cheeks because you got to protect the last. I'm just telling you, as funny as this is, this was our squad meeting on how to recover a fumble in New England, and I'm pretty sure every team teaches the same thing. The bottom of those piles are rough, Florio. It is rough at the bottom of the pile.
And you discussed it in meetings. Oh my God! The one thing I didn't think of, and that would have been, okay. So, despite all that, this implies that the attempts to invade those various areas still happen when you get at the bottom of the pile, that you got fingers trying to go in places where fingers shouldn't go.
People are trying to do anything to get that football loose. Like, I'm telling you, I remember getting in the NFL and the first time, this is preseason of my rookie year, and Bill's in the front of the meeting room and he's saying this, and I'm dying laughing in the back. And the older guys are like, hey, Rook, it's real at the bottom of the pile. Like you gonna find out. You get on a fumble, it's real at the bottom of the pile. And whenever you watch a game, look how many times if a guy jumps on the ball, do his teammates just jump on top of him and cover him up, all to stop people from getting to him. Like it's protect the guy with the ball at all costs at the bottom of a pile. Like pay attention as you watch those plays from now on.
I'm only aware of one player who's currently not in the NFL having a reputation for invading what the butt cheek squeeze is protecting, but we've seen the videos of the finger going towards certain areas there. I didn't realize it was such a universally accepted thing to do, but I guess you know, the one area you expose is the one area that could end up. It's just amazing to me it still happens. But you know what? You're never going to get an 8K clear shot of what's happening. Not like the shot we saw of what Moehrig did to Jennings last night. We're never going to see it with that clarity because it's all one cluster of humanity and all sorts of stuff can happen. Let's hear a little from Jennings and Moehrig as I reset my brain after what Devin just disclosed regarding the incident that occurred last night at the end of the game.
Man, TV gonna tell you what happened, man. I was just responding to me some childish behavior. That's all that was. That was just out of nowhere. I mean, I think it's probably just like I was saying, just the history of me playing ball. I play hard. You know, I'm physically stronger than a lot of DBs out there, and so, you know, yeah, a lot of things happen in between the whistle. You know, with me at least.
In the back, that's it. So, you know, that's really all it was. You know,
I mean, you were pretty blatantly away from the ball. Like,
there really ain't nothing much to it, though. It was just really just that. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I'll take that one. You want to do a little dirty stuff, so it is what it is, man.
Sounds like the reporters didn't see the other video when they were talking to Tre'von Moehrig. I didn't hear any questions of why did you punch him in the crotch, because that is what got it all started. And I hadn't thought about it from the perspective of, because I'm looking at Jennings saying under the Branch standard he gets suspended. Well, under the Chase standard, Moehrig gets suspended. I can't imagine both being suspended, because if you're going to suspend Moehrig for the punch, how do you suspend Jennings for the reaction? How do you explain that one? That it didn't happen immediately. He waited until after the game to do it. Yeah, he did it because he got punched in the crotch by the guy for no reason at all. This is exactly the kind of stuff that the NFL is trying so hard to get away from. And I guess the real takeaway, Devin, they're not learning. Like, we've seen Jalen Carter, Brian Branch, Jamar Chase, and the guys aren't learning that there's certain lines that you cannot cross on the football field during or after the game.
And I think that's the key to why the sport of football is such a beautiful thing, but also the other side of it is it's a highly emotional game where it's okay to run and smack people and hit them, and you're trying to, I hate saying hurt, but you're trying to hurt somebody. You're trying to elicit a certain amount of fear by hitting them so hard that they don't come back the next. And then you want, in the middle of that, everything that happened, then you want a guy to control himself. And it's the hardest thing for guys to do, because you have to just turn it on and then turn it off. And that's what we're watching happen in real time. Like, Jauan Jennings has seen the videos, has heard the memos that went around, but in the middle of it, he gets punched, and he's like, what I'm gonna always talk about is what Mike Tomlin said. He said, if somebody spits in your face, do whatever comes natural. And I think this situation is very similar. Like, if somebody and they just deliberately punch you below the belt, like, you're gonna do what comes natural. And in that moment, the play ends. You see he falls back, Trent Williams, and I think he's like, he looks at the ref. That was his. He looked, the ref, you didn't see that? Like, nobody. And then I think the emotions of it is he's so mad. Like, I can't believe this guy just did that. And then he goes and attacks him. And I think what you said will be the key to all of this. If they determine he waited too long to react, I think that is going to be the key.
And the defense will be at the hearing with one of the three former NFL players. I had just gotten hit in the nuts. I wasn't in a position to retaliate then. I had to wait until I recovered. And I think they'll all have some degree of sympathy for that reality. I mean, I can't imagine. I'd love to know the analytics on the number of adult males who have made it through 30 years of life without it happening once. It's impossible. It's impossible. I used to get hit there all the time. Just, running around on the playground, gym class, whatever, on purpose, whatever the case may be. It happens, and it happens a lot, and it does take time to recover. Well, it's one of the things to watch today. We'll see what the league does. And you know how it goes. If they're going to suspend somebody, we'll hear about it today. If not, we won't hear anything. And the fines are all announced on Saturday afternoon. So we'll be watching very carefully the announcement of the fines for Any punishments for the initial blow and the reaction once the pain and the agony of getting hit there passed for Jauan Jennings. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.